food for all for a healthier community.
Hello, and welcome to the 17th Annual Food Justice Summit. My name is Enrique Orozco, and I am one of the co-organizers of the summit this year. Before we start your session, I want to highlight some of the accessibility options, engagement features, and explain how to access interpretation services. Hola, y bienvenido a la 17ª Cumbre Anual de la Justicia Alimentaria de Chicago. Me llamo Enrique Orozco y soy uno de los coordinadores de la cumbre este año. Antes de empezar, quiero tomar un momento para indicar las opciones de accesibilidad, las herramientas de participación y los servicios de interpretación. Para acceder a los servicios de interpretación, fíjese al lado izquierdo de su pantalla. Al hacer clic al botón que dice Audio Captions, se abrirá una ventana. Haga clic en Select y luego elige el lenguaje de su preferencia, inglés o español. Comenzarás automáticamente a escuchar al intérprete. Para acceder a los servicios de subtítulo, elige el botón que indique CC. Se tiene que elegir una de estas opciones. Para escuchar a los presentadores, elige la opción Floor. Se puede cerrar esta ventana. Finalmente, deberás silenciar el video principal para no escuchar a los presentadores e intérpretes. Estas opciones también se pueden encontrar al lado derecho de su pantalla, bajo la pestaña que dice Interpretación. To access interpretation services, look at the left side of your screen. By clicking on the Audio Captions button, you will open a window. Click on Select and then choose which language you would like to hear, English or Spanish. You will automatically begin to hear the interpreter. To turn on closed captioning, click on the CC button. You will need to select one of these options. To hear the original speakers, select the floor option. You may close this window. Finally, you will need to mute the main video in order to not hear the original speakers and interpreters. These features can also be found on the right side of your screen under the Interpretation tab. The platform also offers a number of visual accessibility tools. To find them, click on the profile image at the bottom of your screen, and then select Accessibility Adjustments. You can also change the language of the window through this pop-up. Under these accessibility adjustments, you can select different options to make the website easier to read. We welcome you to participate in the conversation through the chat window. Clicking again on the Chat tab on the right side will open up this screen. Select the box at the beginning to begin typing into the chat. At the end of the session, we will open for a brief question and answer portion, and you may type your questions here. Afterwards, I invite you to open the polling tab to answer a very short survey that lets our team know how well we did in planning these sessions. I hope you enjoy the 17th Annual Chicago Food Justice Summit. I will now turn it over to your speakers.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Thanks for having us this year. It's an absolute honor to be here and be part of the 17th Annual Chicago Food Justice Summit. This is our first year here, so we're very excited to share what we have today. So my name is Nicole Garrett. I am the Will County MAP Collaborative Coordinator, and I'm joined here with my colleagues, Kathy Pecora from Will County Land Use and Deb Upshaw from National Hookup of Black Women Joliet Chapter. So Kathy, please introduce yourself.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for having us. Greetings from Will County. My name is Kathy Pecora, and I am the Program Manager for the Community Development Division of the Will County Land Use Department, and I'm also the coordinator of the We Will Grow School and Community Garden Program. Deb?
Thank you, Kathy. Good morning, everyone. My name is Deborah Upshaw. I serve as the president of the National Hookup of Black Women Incorporated, the Joliet chapter, as well as the Labor of Love Food Co-op. Our mission is to fill the gaps and service the community. So I am very excited to be here and to share today. Thank you.
Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. All right, so today we'll be sharing some background and some present and future plans that we're currently working on in Will County to bridge gaps in food access and health disparities, specifically for our vulnerable populations and those in amplified inequities. Specifically today, we're going to talk about a model to building a local food economy in Will County through a project that we've coined Food for All for a Healthier Community. Will County is a very diverse urban and rural county and has much to offer in terms of land use, agriculture, and economic development. Will County is home to currently over 800 farms spanning roughly 217,000 acres and brings in a gross annual income from that agriculture of roughly $9 million in annual revenue. And that's actually been a 13% decrease since 2012 due to the loss of roughly 140,000 acres of land to new development. 40,000 specifically of natural land and 100,000 acres of farmland. And just to put the annual income into perspective, each acre of our farmland in Will County is worth roughly $9,000. However, 98% of Will County farmers have been incentivized to work in commercial grain rather than in dietary human consumables or mainstream produce. A lot of that produce is exported out of the county, really leaving only about 1.8% for human consumables that can be eaten. So there's definitely an interest in investing in our agriculture, not only for environmental benefits or health benefits, economic benefits, but also the social benefits and the capital that can be brought into communities through investing in agriculture and local food economies. So now we're going to hear from Kathy, and she's going to tell us a little bit about the history and background that has led to some disproportionate impact in our communities.
Thank you, Nicole. This slide points out the progression of loss in Will County. In 1979, Will County experienced about a 30% unemployment rate due to the Great Recession. This recession drove out and most of the large employers in Western Will County, reducing it to a rust belt. In the wake of this, riverboat gaming facilities started to take interest into the low-cost land along the Des Plaines River. And in 1990, gaming became legal in the state of Illinois, riverboat gaming specifically. And 2 riverboats were established in Joliet, both on the Des Plaines within 3 miles of each other. Another area employer that shuttered was the Joliet Arsenal, which had produced dynamite, TNT, through the world wars, Vietnam, or Korea and Vietnam, and then shuttered. This land, 23,000 acres, was contaminated and deemed a Superfund site. So redevelopment would be costly for commercial and residential use. So out of this area, what replaced high opportunity for employment were low employment opportunity uses. The Midewin Tallgrass Prairie, about 18,000 acres. Abraham Lincoln Cemetery, about 1,000 acres. Prairie View Landfill, 1,000 acres. And then the local 150 Machine Operators Union were all redeveloped on this site. Then we talk about south of this site, the City of Elwood decided to convert farmland into the beginning of our transportation, distribution, and logistics system. So within the limits of the village of Elwood and now reaching into newly annexed areas of the city of Joliet are the largest inland port in the United States. So now the freight going out of Will County consists primarily of the ag, as Nicole mentioned, wheat, corn, soybean that leaves our state. And what comes in on these trains are produce from California and other southern regions. During this time, significant grocery stores that are in our pilot area that we're going to refer to soon and describe more fully. And in 2015, the We Will Grow School and Community Garden program started to address the lack of access in our hardest hit communities that were impacted by the loss of employment. So what happened with the funding from the riverboats? It went into a lot of development, community development, economic development, residential and commercial development in Western Will County, not benefiting directly the area that was most impacted by the departure of employment. And then we now have 2 riverboats. We now have a baseball stadium, of a non-affiliated team baseball stadium in downtown Joliet. And we have expansion of the casino properties, but we never directly invested into these communities.
So now we tend to see, a lot of retail outlets. We see a decrease in SNAP beneficiary retailers, and the majority of what our 60433 and 32 residents, which we're going to spend the majority of today kind of talking about, really only have access currently to Family Dollar, convenient liquor stores, and gas stations. 60433 and 32 also have the highest rates of health adversity, poverty, low high school graduation rates, low vehicle ownership, low walkability and complete street modeling, few public transportation options, and those grocery stores that did leave in 2016, leaving that as a food desert. And so the COVID-19 pandemic definitely also overlaid a lot of the disproportionate case rates based on those hardship indicators we've seen. So the MAP Collaborative, Mobilizing for Action Through Planning and Partnership, was instated in 2011 and meet community needs within the local health system. And as Kathy had mentioned, in 2014 was when the Access to Food and Nutrition team was created and prioritized as an issue to address. And we consist currently of over 100 different agencies: health, social service, transportation, housing, land use development, farming, food, education, industrial, faith-based, government, and non-government community-based organizations. And we're really an egalitarian, data-driven body of partnerships really designed to objectively and strategically work towards improving residents' health and quality of life. And asset mapping is a very important piece of the evaluation of the project that we're going to present to you today. We'll talk a little bit more on that, but making sure that we're definitely bringing everyone to the table in a diverse and inclusive way to truly meet community needs. Looking at those geographical perspectives, some of the things that Kathy was specifically talking about historically, and looking at the built community in terms of how we can actually address some of these problems. And of course, using that evaluation data to continue to strategically prioritize and aligning our plans with the county and city planning to really get the sustainability for our projects moving forward. So the Access to Food and Nutrition team, like I said, was born in 2014. And since then, we've had a goal of reducing household food insecurity and increasing education of healthy food options. You can see here some of the objectives that we're trying to meet in terms of increasing access to food. You could see here to the right some FARA Food Access Research Atlas maps kind of showcasing specifically where those food deserts are. And you can see from the top map that that area in orange surrounding Joliet is our 60433, 32, and 35 area codes. And we, as Kathy mentioned, lost 3 certified SNAP retailer grocers that left the 60433 and 32 area code, which left an increase in need for nutritious food. And so we are looking at increasing the rate of those establishments back specifically within that area code. And this project and partnership with the Food for All for a Healthier Community project is a way for us to meet those needs. So who are we? We consist of many different partnerships at this point, but we are still growing. As Kathy mentioned, the We Will Grow Community School and Garden Program. We'll hear a little bit more about that project and some of the yield that's coming from those garden projects. Holston Human Capital Development, which is our Riverwalk Homes subsidized housing complex. They will be a partner here too. The National Hookup of Black Women Joliet chapter, which Deb Upshaw is here to talk a little bit about what's going on there, which is wonderful. Of course, MAP, the Salvation Army, Will County Farm Bureau, Illinois Partners in Hope, United Way, which is our fiscal agent of MAP, Amita Health, Governor State University, working with us on focus groups and an IRB process, Lewis University, the YMCA, our Will County Executive Office, as well as our U of I Illinois Extension and SNAP Ed projects. And this is still growing. We're working to incorporate more of our community-based organizations, our faith-based organizations, and our hospitals as we continue to move forward with this project. So what are we doing? Currently, we are in the process of proposing for American Rescue Plan Act dollars to build this project. We are looking to reduce household and individual food insecurity through incentivizing and increasing access to locally grown produce in a fresh market setting that does accept EBT, voucher, and cash credit exchange. And using those existing partners in their facilities to get the funding to establish 3 markets in those low access areas. So the 3 fresh markets that we're looking to establish would be at the National Hookup of Black Women Joliet chapter in 60433, the Salvation Army of Joliet, which currently the YMCA of Joliet is also currently occupying and working through, and Riverwalk Homes and Holston Human Capital Development. In that project, we'll build markets and through partnering with Will County and regional farmers, be able to improve access to the produce that's being grown through the community garden projects, as well as through local farmers that are interested in a buy local economy. We're looking to improve overall health and nutrition of residents with that access and continue to build commercial kitchens at these sites as well for entrepreneurial opportunity in which residents will be able to utilize the commercial kitchens to sell local foods and start a business in which we will continue to increase job skill training, job opportunities within these areas of amplified need. And of course, like I said, continue to incentivize our farmers into a buy local economy where consumers would have a direct to co-op reach with a technology infrastructure that we would help our local farmers and residents alike utilize. And like I said, continue to implement an expansive local for-profit food economy with a nonprofit mission. And so this money is essentially going to provide the program over a 5-year timeline at roughly $2.6 million. And we continue to look at diversifying our funding opportunities for sustainability through non-American Rescue Plan Act opportunities as well, such as USDA's GUSNIP grants to incentive SNAP beneficiaries who we know will be our primary audience at our fresh markets. And look at other economic development grants, potential for R3 funds, American Heart Association funding, county funding, donor funding, and of course the revenue that would be brought in through the markets themselves. So one grant that we're also going after right now is an Illinois Economic Development Grant, which is a non-ARPA proposal that is going to supply an additional $800,000 to that $2.6 million to really renovate and provide the commercial kitchening at these fresh market sites for utilization by the community-based organizations and the residents, and kind of get this project in the capital in the first 5 years for these 3 sites off the ground. And I will say that if at first you don't succeed, try again. This project has evolved over time, which was really just such a big importance of our asset mapping. We originally went after some Bernard J. Tyson funds. We actually submitted grants for that twice. We came back to the table, revamped our program. We were looking at USDA grants, but we realized we weren't exactly ready at that point. We even went after county dollars and got a letter of intent to acquire the old YMCA building that sits off of Briggs in Will County, that sits on roughly 26 acres of fertile farmland with a 28,000 square foot building that we were going to essentially turn into the hub. That would be the market, it would be the logistics center, the training center, in addition, providing other health and social services. And then on site, we were going to build a food farm with mini houses for our housing insecure population. And it was really going to work very similarly to what a landing zone type of model. And unfortunately, we did not get that bid. So we've kind of come forward and presented our project. And as things change and evolve, we change and evolve too, to kind of keep this moving forward. So we continue to look at partnerships to expand and continue to grow the program. So again, we're looking to improve access to nutritious food through that co-op grocery model, through those fresh market sites, which again is going to provide a lot of training opportunity, a lot of entrepreneurial opportunity for individuals within the community. We're going to provide some logistical support for specialty growers, again, through our higher ed learning partnerships, building that technology infrastructure, working with our farmers who we know, might not be as tech savvy, to really kind of expand their reach and their revenue for the program, which only helps those that are suffering from food insecurity. Providing that education on literacy, food growing, safety, preparation, processing, the entrepreneurial opportunities, the job opportunities within these areas of amplified inequity, and laying the foundations for sustainability with future year-round opportunities for marketing. So community-driven economic development starts with building the system itself, designating and beginning the operations of that food hub. Because of the asset mapping, we looked at what availability of brick and mortar, where we were already getting reach within the community that we want to reach, as well as the trust that was built amongst the community-based organizations that are at the table. They're already operating one day a week as a local pantry. And so consumers and residents are aware that these are areas where they can go to receive food opportunities. And so just expanding on those opportunities that are available to them are hopefully going to bridge some gaps in health adversity, as well as economic development. So we're looking again to complete 3 fresh market sites that are all SNAP and EBT accepted, with 3 commercial accessible kitchens on site. Subsidized food hub members, ordering through the product code technology. So again, building an infrastructure in which people can order their food online and get it directly to their community-based organization. Generating that revenue through that food hub, which will be the sustainability piece of this project after the 5-year working capital has been spent to build it. And then generating the revenue through adding additional CSAs, such as our hospitals and other municipality institutions that are interested in the project. And Kathy's going to expand a little bit on the opportunity for working with purveyors and year-round market, as well as some statistics on some regional growing.
All right, Nicole, we'll go to the next slide, which is building the supply side of the equation. When we presented to the county board regarding the Smith Family YMCA and the 26 acres, we needed to provide evidence to the county that there is not only a market, but there is a supply for fresh fruits and vegetables to come into our proposed CSAs, propose training programs, distribution to our schools. That was a model that we were going to use to become a commissary at that site. So right now, I have received some statistics from Regalis Gavuzzo, who is the director of the Illinois Specialty Growers Association and Illinois Farm Bureau. And within the area of Will, Kane, DuPage, Grundy, Kendall, and Kankakee counties are more than 150 growers of vegetables, 75 growing fruit, and 39 farms growing berries. Will County is in a position currently to start a food hub. We can aggregate and we can distribute to reach the Cook County and Chicago markets. We will work within the existing food chain or food supply lines within partner organizations within the state of Illinois, connecting western portions, southern portions of the state to Cook County. We will develop an e-commerce platform that will be used for our hub members as well as for our institutions ordering. Initial phase of this will come out as a CSA type model where we can place orders directly to our hub and fill the need of our organizational members, universities, hospitals, and right now county departments. We will develop the ability to process at our co-op sites and at our CSA sites, hub and SNAP benefits. This is our plan. I believe that it's doable, and we are at our first step of implementing, and then we will report back next year on how far we've gone to achieve this goal.
Wonderful. Thank you, Kathy, for that. And just to kind of expand a little bit on the training opportunities that we're trying to funnel through the program. Again, we've partnered with several different organizations. Our U of I Extension and SNAP Ed are working with us to develop education for that entrepreneurial programming piece. Food safety education, good agricultural practices training, youth education, community education, and they're also going to be working with us on a neighborhood cookbook, which I'll expand on in a future slide. Lewis University students are going to provide capstone opportunities for their graduates to assist us in the application development of that technology infrastructure for our farmers to expand their reach to sales within the community. Working again with Salvation Army, our Holston Human Capital Development, Riverwalk Home site, and our National Hookup of Black Women Joliet chapter site, which are already providing healthy eating, active living education, adult and youth social services, and we'll continue to expand on providing more community space for health and social services through those sites as well. And then the Will County Health Department Environmental Health Division, which actually I was a part of in years prior, developed my own presentation and educational tools related to food safety. And they, of course, provide a lot of education yearly and tools for that. So a lot of opportunity here to train and get those, especially in an area that have a 25% no GED, no high school diploma area, some opportunity to get skilled up in 6 months or less to earn some livable wage. This is just another example of some of that SNAP Ed education that we specifically have already put together for the program through adult and youth education. And because these organizations already currently write grants to perform some of these activities, we really kind of, again, asset mapped to see where are the current earmarked dollars at in the county towards these issues, and bringing these individuals to the table so that we can better, more strategically funnel those dollars rather than necessarily duplicating and continuing to ask for different funding. And we know that you do not build a project for the community without the community at the table. So building our community empowerment through our 604-33-3235 area code is super important. We've partnered with GSU leadership, some educators and professors to do an IRB process, running 4 focus sessions. 2 are in English, 2 are in Spanish. I've been out at some of our health facilities during medication pickup time when we know that we can reach our Spanish-speaking communities. And we're providing $20 gift cards for anybody who provides, any information for us through that surveillance tool on, literacy, climate, and an interest in building a local food economy. And through that surveillance tool, we're capturing recipes if anyone would like to share. And we'll be working with our hospital networks and our dietitians to provide some quote unquote culinary medicine 101 and really kind of provide a sustainable cookbook for these wonderful cultural meals. And Kathy's going to talk a little bit more about the distribution and supply chain of the project through our Illinois Partners in Hope.
Illinois Partners in Hope is what we're calling a hybrid food bank. And I got to know them in working with area nonprofits, and they are a 501c3 that goes out and gathers high volumes of food, various forms of food, shelf stable and fresh, and hauls it back to their facility and distributes it to their 75 clients for free, no money, no cost to get this food. And so they do this with multiple trucks. They have 2 refrigerated vehicles. They have 2 full semi-trucks, semi-sized refrigerated vehicles, and they house their fresh foods and their frozen foods inside these vehicles and inside their facility because they move quickly. So I learned about the size of their fleet and what their reach was. And so in another opportunity brought to us by COVID, I suggested that they sought Community Development Block Grant COVID CARES funding. So in working with them, we were able to use those funds to get more vehicles and to expand their ability. And then in processing their work invoices for reimbursement, I saw how far they go and their reach of purveyors. So they will handle the logistics piece. They're 501c3. This will be a for-profit operation that will cover their cost. And we haven't worked out that exact model yet, but they will be acting as our distributor and our hub. They can pick up, they can deliver, and they are the missing piece. They are what we need to fit into the Illinois food chain, the food system, and to be an effective partner. We just have some information on the slide of what their capacity is currently. But I want, the point of this is that this piece has been handled, this piece is in place, and we are ready to gather, aggregate, and distribute food in Will County.
Wonderful.
And this is the We Will Go Grow Community Garden Program, School and Community Garden Program. It is an exact replica, or I would say inspired by the DeKalb County Community Garden Program. I listened to Dan Kenny speak, and I at a Northern Illinois University regional food system conference, and said, you know what, we can address the needs that we have in Will County through implementing a program like this. It started with a school garden that was just a fail, but don't give up. You keep on going. And so my first garden was an absolute mess. But I learned from that and learned from information and training from the American Community Garden Association. And now we have 29 gardens. The gardens on this screen are specifically our pantry gardens. So we have 14 gardens supplying pantries. And then we have a pantry partner, which is the Manhattan Friendship Garden. And that's an MPO that grows on 3 acres and provides all of our pantries in Will County. They're just tremendous. So based on 2021, that's our current garden list, 29 gardens, 14 pantry. We have 10 raised bed backyard gardens in a program called Seniors Will Grow. And that was a pilot in an unincorporated community designated place, so a high density unincorporated area within Will County called Fairmont. it's a successful program. COVID happened, but the good news is we are partnering with Lockport Township High School to start the program again in 2022. In 2020, our harvest was 180,000 pounds. I did not update this. In 2021, due to the mild weather, we topped 200,000 pounds of produce through this program. And our yearly earmark for the We Will Grow School and Community Garden program is $30,000. And the reason why we have so many gardens in the program is because of our garden partners. It is Lewis University. It is ShareFest Will County. It is the National Hookup, our fiscal agent, the National Hookup of Black Women, the MAP Collaborative, the U of I Extension. We all work together to get these gardens going, to keep them running. And the We Will Grow School and Community Garden program provides soil, plants every year, implements that are needed, irrigation, any expansions to gardens, and we do this strategically. We have a 5-year plan of what we can do in the short and long term. So our goal is to maintain every garden partner that we currently have and to add 1 to 2 gardens a year. There's opportunity for additional funding. I won't go into that. Fingers crossed, and again, something to talk about next year. Awesome. This is a map. We also have a partner with our GIS, Will County GIS, that has a Find Food page. So when you go to Find Food, you will see not only the community gardens in Will County, you'll get a clear list of all our food pantries and our micro pantries. So this is our current location of our community gardens throughout Will County. We are focused. We're in Western Will County, but we are now reaching out into Southern and Eastern Will County with our 2022 garden going in Eastern Will County in the village of Monee this year. And then the next slides just have some photos of our current gardens, just to give you all a look of the landscape and what we have going on here. So those are photos of our Holston human capital development property, Riverwalk Homes. That's the view of the casino hotel in the distance along the river. And then we have just some views of our garden, what they look like, our specialty quartz garden, our seniors will grow garden. And we can go to the next page, or the next slide, please. And that's just a few more of our home garden was new for 2021 at Brown Chapel. And then in the far right corner is a view of the Friendship Farm.
Wonderful. Now we'll hear from Deborah Upshaw from the National Hookup to talk about all of the wonderful programming that's going on there.
Thank you, Nicole. And I understand we only have 13 minutes left, so I'll go swiftly. And I'm just so honored to be here. And Kathy Pecora and Nicole has been a great inspiration for this food. The National Hookup of Black Women came on board as a need. We didn't originally have a pantry or a garden, but we contacted Kathy Pecora and she got things moving. We started in 2019 with 5 raised garden beds, and we were able to supply the community, but we recognized that it was not enough for this barren community that lack so many things. So as advocates for women and their families, that is our mission. We recognize the great need, and we opened up our doors and started this journey. So we started with the 2019 and 2020. We only had the 5 raised beds, but we did open up our doors to a food pantry. But we have gone so far past that. We have 28 beds, and Kathy instituted a contest between the college students and Lewis University students, built 23 raised log cabin style garden beds for us. We were able to give so much food away this past year, and even pre-COVID there was a need. So post-COVID it has increased so much. So we incorporated this with our STEM program because we thought it'd be important that the kids understood where things come from, if they could start growing it and they could start developing healthy habits. So we started the program and instructing them where the food come from, how seeds germinate, how plants, and they start logging and having a great time. And we find that when they do when they're involved, they understand the importance of eating healthy. And so we started off like that. And we've had this is our we'll be in our fourth growing season. And we've been blessed, and we have been culturally sound, but growing things that the community represents. So we're high African American and Hispanic population in the 60433. So we grow things based on the culture of the community. Last year, 2021, we started the Healthy Eating Active Living, which is called the HEAL program. And we wanted to address the body, spirit, the whole man. So that we started getting the community involved in the garden and in our different sessions on healthy eating, brown bagging, having the pharmacist come out. You bring your medication in a brown bag. She teaches you how to, because healthy food and chronic diseases, they are parallel to one another. So we feel like if they know how to choose better, then they will have a better outcomes in their lives. So on the average, we developed this co-op. It involves 4 agencies, and the reason being is so that every day families could find somewhere where they can find food or supplies or whatever it is that they're needing. During COVID, it was a lot of sanitizing, masks or whatever, but we wanted to be that place, and we have been that place. We not only serve the community, we deliver to the COVID families in isolation and or that have been exposed. We developed a gym where we have the treadmills, the bikes, the ellipticals, and the bodybuilding machines. We had a half-court basketball court and a half-mile walking path put in because we wanted to involve the entire community. We feel like if we get everybody involved, then we'll be a better and a healthier community. So we've done that. And we are so excited about the plans with the STEM program. We have the greenhouse inside. So they're growing the seeds in the inside to be transplanted outside. So the kids are learning on every basis. So what we are doing now is trying to make sure that everyone in this community understand the perilous diseases that we have from lack of nutrition. We don't have it, but we are trying to make sure that each family do have. So the goal this year is our orchard. We've already ordered our trees. So we will have 10 varieties of fruits, different apples, pears, and nectarine that we will start. We're excited. They're due here the end of March, and they will be planning, and the University of Illinois will be helping us with that project as well. So we're doing a lot of things, but the main thing is we have 21 students involved in the gardening program this year. They've already registered. So we're going to have a lot of volunteers, and we're going to have a lot of students that can earn community service hours from coming out. And in the food pantry as well, we've been able to feed an average of 350 to 500 families a week based on what time of, if it's the holidays or whatever, we even go past that. But we've been able to partner with the neighborhood hospital, Silver Cross, and St. Joe's to help us through this project as well. So I hope that I went through everything swiftly, Kathy and Nicole, that they need to know, because I want to be respectful of time as well.
Deb, this is wonderful. Thank you so much. You did an excellent job. And just to again be mindful of everyone's time, just quickly, again, I told you 3 fresh market sites. They're all currently going through renovations to kind of give that fresh market feel, and looking at some data, as Deb had mentioned, we're reaching anywhere between 350 to 500 families through pantry, health information, health screening, and other social services. So this is just one of those sites that's going to be taking place at Riverwalk Homes, already kind of in the process of through diversified grant funding, getting their kitchen going. And then the Salvation Army is another site which actually already has an operational kitchen that has been permitted in the past. We'll just provide the renovations to the market feel that's necessary. And of course, we can't do any of this without our food team and our community volunteer and dedicate their time to solving some of these public health issues in our community. And we're just so grateful. So thank you for everyone. And if we have any questions, then we'll take those now.
There are some things in the chat I'd like to address. One regarding, I believe it's from, Stephanie Stevens. Thank you. University Park needs this. We have the University Park Cares Garden at the town center, and they're doing great. So there is a garden that's going into the University Park pantry. So Keely Childress is the person responsible who heads that program stuff. So please give her a call or reach out to me. I think we'll have our information at the end, and I'll put you in contact with her. Mm-hmm. And also, we have one on the border of Cretan University Park at Faith Movers Church. And so we're looking to expand that garden next year. So I can also give you information about for people at Faith Movers as well.
Okay. They want more information on Illinois Partners in Hope. Kathy?
Yeah, Illinois Partners in Hope website. Let me look it up, and you can contact Keith Sharp, and he is the director. So he works in all Southern Will and Southern Cook. So if your pantry's even in Cook County, they have a list, and they go to Cook County as well. Mm-hmm. And let me see.
Chicago to support Will County efforts for food sovereignty.
Become a part of the MAP Collaborative.
Yeah.
Continue to expand and be at a seat at the table. We're a very egalitarian group that works through a very data-driven, strategic fashion to truly meet community needs. And we talked a little bit about what the COVID-19 pandemic has overlaid, but we knew prior to COVID that our communities were being very disproportionately impacted by social determinants of health. And we're very catalyzed at this point in time to really use the influx of dollars that did come through over the course of the last 2 years in a very fiscally responsible and sustainable capacity to truly not just look at number of, but really look at the outcomes associated with population health as we implement these projects. And the community-based organizations just do an incredible job to really step up and work with us and see where we can continue to take our resources and organize it and use it as efficiently as we can. So I will leave my email or information. If you guys don't have access to that, please feel free to reach out to me. We are looking to expand our MAP partnerships regionally.
Yep. And Felix, I am a community health worker with the Warehouse Workers for Justice. Yeah, in Will County. Please reach out to us, Felix.
Right. And we partner with the Will County, the Warehouse Justice in Joliet with the Workforce Development Program. Yes. So, yes.
Yes. So we are here, Felix. Please reach out to us. Kate Pecora at willcountylanduse.com. That's easy.
Yes.
Thank you, everyone. This was amazing. Thank you
Any
for an
other
opportunity.
Thank you for the opportunity.
We appreciate it. It was so above and beyond. And, please follow up with anything else. We are here. We are glad. We are glad to talk and tell you more. We'll bend your ear about Will County.
And we only want to expand, targeting our 60433 and 32 is just the pilot of this project. So the idea is to then go into the University Park food desert area, working with our Governor State University out there in leadership. And then, of course, addressing the area of Bolingbrook 60440 that is also suffering from some food insecurity. So this project is just looking to go up to sky's the limit from here.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone, so much.
Did you see the question?